I never really saw anybody in media that was like, oh, like being a chef is something to be proud of. Being a chef is something that you can actually succeed in, and be great, be great, be great.
Hey guys, we're back again. We're on our fourth episode of 1,000 Days Till, and we've covered some really beginning experiences that we have had to build our business. But today we want to talk about what we did to add on top of that, what changes, what additions, what business people usually say pivoting. How do we pivot to then continue to stay fresh, innovative, and building our revenue? So a few things that we did was enhance our delivery service. So while we started with a couple drivers who showed up every weekend, I think we got up to like 10, to be honest, or 10 to 12. We then also started thinking about different food options, and we started creating menu items for us to kind of like grow the availability of what palette one of our guests would want to try or get into. And I'd say that a lot of it probably didn't work as much as we thought it would. So we've learned now to build upon what we already sell, as opposed to creating all new ideas, menu options. But when you look at changing to the delivery service and menu options, like what do you think we could continue to do in terms of adding more? Some of the things we've got some desserts on the table, guys. So this is some of our items that we have that sell out. Actually, we actually sell out of these items. And so, these are some items that we have. This is a dulce de leche fluff bar. Looks really good.
It is.
I haven't tried it, but I'm going to in a little bit. Daquan's got, what do you got here? He's got some M&M cookies with some fudge on top. Mm-hmm. Looks really good. This is by one of our vendors, Maggie's Cupcakes. So one thing that we do always is support local businesses. This is a support of a local business within our business. We have our wine that we don't manage, but in every instance we try to incorporate it with our business partner Aaron. And then we have, what do you got over there? We got a cosmic brownie, guys. So this is one of our other items that we have from a local vendor as well. And again, a lot of what we do is not so much just looking at what we have, right? Like I feel like we bring in so many experience. Mm-hmm. We bring in so much different talent, right? And it's exciting actually, because no one really knows. They come in and they see all of what they see and they're like, oh my God, this is so cool. But the work that it takes to keep those things full and keep going so we don't disappoint our guests. But back to my question to you, it's like, okay, we've got these cookies, we've got wine, we've got Absurd Bird, the chicken cuisine, the chicken burger cuisine. We've got breakfast. We have cakes and funnel cakes that we feature in here as well. And we have cakes. We have other cookie brands and stuff. What else do you see us bringing in?
It's I guess for me the beginning answer to that is not necessarily bringing in different but more so bringing in more of the same. Because one, when you're making business deals and decisions, and in us trying to support local, it also comes with, like you said, the logistics, the cost, everything has to fit. The relationship of that person has to fit. Like for our Cookie Enormous brand, we have a business relationship with Lacey from Cookie Lane, and I had to first taste her cookies, understand her business, build a love for her flavor, and say, okay, well, this is something that you can help me with, and then we can go from there and build this brand together. And then we went out to Maggie's Cupcakes, and she was able to infuse some of her flavors into it. We also had Sheralina's, who does her cakes and things like that. So, like I said, we have cakes and funnel cakes. So, I think although I'm saying a lot of people, that's really not a lot of people. And in order to really get into that, for us, I think we have like a good balance between these are the brands we've created just from our own self, and then these are the brands that we've partnered with other people to create. And I think what's cool is that this has taught me a lot about myself and in business, where my place is in again, what I can give back. I am a facilitator. I see a lot of people, they want a successful business. They want a lot of things they have an idea. And they say, I can cook, I can bake, I can do this, I can do that. And it's like they may not know, okay, how do I get it to the customer? How do I get it to the person that would buy the food from me? And I know how to do that. So it's like, okay, well, I can create a sales channel for you, and you can create food. Because I hate baking. Now, I can bake, but I hate it. So, therefore, anything that you see up in here that's baked, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. It is what it is. I wear this chef jacket because I'm a chef. I'm a line cook, actually. I need to take it off. I need to be dirty. I'm a line cook. I'm not like anybody. I love when people come in here, and the funniest thing, I even like is that kind of blending like all of what we've said together about building a foundation, being consistent, not skipping steps, and now, okay, what are we looking to the future of growing, of adding, and things like that? A big thing is you also can't do it all. You also have to choose your path and then focus on that. For me, I'm not a social media person. I'm out there, who I am, XYZ. I think the funniest thing for me was when we brought Cakes and Funnel Cakes, Andre Case, into our restaurant at over there at RVA Cafe when we first started it, and he was doing nighttime, and he was getting some sales. I was, kind of helping him figure out how to make, the batter in a way that, it can go out the door, figuring out boxes, and he was doing his thing, and he was doing it great. And the cool thing was, I feel like I went somewhere to like another restaurant. I want to say it was like Urban Hang Suite, and I was down there getting coffee or something like that, or picking up an order or something. I think we had already started delivery service there, and the funniest thing was a lady was like, "Oh, Mercedes," she said, "Oh, this is the owner of RVA Cafe," and the lady was like, "Oh, you work at Cason's restaurant." At the Cason's Funnel Cake restaurant, you work there? I was like, yes, I work there. Don't know me. And it's funny because RVA Cafe name on the building, but they knew it as his business. And it's cool because his thing is being on social media, being, the known person, being all of this. And it really kind of taught me, like, because at first, when I was first going through it, like I said, being in that consistency phase, nobody knows you. You don't get any like accolades. Nobody's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are just doing it
up, you know, all this stuff, and it's like you start to you start to waver and like, are we doing it? Are we, you know, I see it, but you know, you get into a thing because. Granted, I don't care about social media like that, but
the tangibility piece is people coming to you and saying, "Oh, I know your restaurant," and they come in droves to dine in, or consistently come in and do takeout.
You start to want a little bit of clout, essentially, because you like, I'm busting it down every daggone day. Like somebody can come and say, "Hey, you know, hey, something." But it's cool because, you know, I realize I am the facilitator of the person in the back. Like, no. Don't know my name. Just pay me money. Just buy
order
the food.
some food.
That's all the things
Don't
we
know
need
who I
right
am.
there.
That's all. That's it. Don't even know. Don't talk to me. Don't know who I am. I'm good with that. And so I mean, for me, I think really to even go back to like the first part of your question is like, I think adding, if it was anything to add, just fleshing out our team more and really getting people in our circle, because our circle obviously is quite small, right? But really, honestly, like diving into people and say, look, you know, is this what you're good at? And if this is something that you're good at, you know, do this to help us, because you help us, we gonna help you, and then we all helped at the same time. You know, because I can create orders, I can create a business, I can go into any business, walk into any restaurant, and say, you looking for more orders on any kind of delivery app? I got you. We about to double your DoorDash, your Uber, your Grubhub tomorrow, but you just need to be ready. You know, but if you're looking to say, oh, my reach on Instagram is X, Y, and Z, I don't have nothing for you. Nothing.
Loss.
You know, but to me, I'm like, well, reach on Instagram don't necessarily equal money in your bank account. So I'm still good. But you know, but again, I get it. It's all part of.
But that's all subjective. But I think it's subjective. I think your definition of fame is going to look different to my definition or Patrick's definition, and for some, it's about the clout and being socially connected and injected into what's going on. And then for some, it's about the money, right? And for some, it's about the hard work. I think it can look any which way it needs to look, honestly. But I think that you could have fame in many facets, and it could be different from person to person.
Yeah.
You know, and so we can't wrong or knock people who look at it different, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really wrong in anybody, but, you know, I guess for me, even, like, just what's a big, strong thing for me is when people come to me and I've over these years, I've gotten a little bit of clout, a little bit of fame, or people like, oh, such and such told me to come talk to you for X, Y, and Z help, and oh, I've seen you on the news. Oh, I've seen you do this and that and the third. And, you know, I just want to know how to build my virtual restaurant. I just want to know how to get my restaurant off the ground. And I'm like, let's go. You know, like you said it. These are the steps to get it done.
They still on the last syllable.
Where we at? You know, people come to me all the time. And I'm like, all right, I done worked out the whole thing for them. And then they don't show up. And, you know, for me, but then I see them on Instagram, I see them on Facebook posting all this stuff, and I'm like, but you had a real opportunity to really be out here doing some for real. Why are we staying on reels? You know, and it's crazy to me. So it's like, for me, I know what I would love is to really find that totality of a team to really, you know, figure out, all right, how do I find people that are really serious in these different fields that are really good at that? I mean, when we went to London, we worked, you know, with the K-Box team, and just to see everybody's passion in their specific role. I mean, we had people that were gung ho about inventory, that were gung ho about just doing costing, that was gung ho about making sure the marketing thing is right, doing logistics, doing operations and stuff like that. And it wasn't like they took it. It was like their life's work, and just finding people that way to kind of grow this in a totality way, because I can create brands easy. I'm a chef. I like to create anything. I like to eat all kinds of food, so I like to learn and make all kinds of food. So just before we even started this, I was like, I want to learn how to make the Chilean food, arepas and stuff like that. So it's like, I want to learn that, and that's a real passion of mine, to be around people of different cultures and really to understand and learn their culture.
Can we start with going to Chile first and
go.
taste the authenticness?
We're going to go.
Okay,
it's fine.
good.
We're going to go and we're going to
Cool.
learn. We're going to get.
And then we could bring back what we've learned
Yeah.
and chef it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool thing. So it's like, I can see us making a brand of
And that could be themed nights. Mm-hmm. So you can only get this Chilean food if you come inside. I mean, that we kind of mentioned it I think I mentioned it on the last session. It was like, how can we find the next thing to grow inside? But that could be it. You have specific themed nights that you can only capture if you come inside. But you can feature it, maybe items online, and you kind of reel them in. You take it away, and then be like, well, I saw,
I mean, no, for real. I think that's the next step of this virtual restaurant online situation. And I think Patrick and I was talking about this of just how do people interact online with stores and with availability of items. And we look at games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or Final Fantasy or anything like that. It's like they'll have a shop that has a daily timer or a weekly timer, and it's like, all right, once that shop has refreshed, you can't get that item anymore. You can't get it until it comes back around. And that's a normal internet kind of thing. It's normalized now.
And like you say, even looking at businesses like Crumble, and I think, I don't know if Insomnia is like that too, but I know Crumble is, where like I said, weekly they change their kind of cookie offerings.
Yeah. Where
you kind of have to check every Sunday or Monday, whenever it is, and see, all right, what's on the menu for this week.
Yep. And I think that's the next step, is like having a brand that's literally changes the whole entire thing.
It's almost like a pop-up.
Yeah,
and it's a different level of engagement where you have to come check us out. Even if you're not going to buy nothing for the week, you coming in, giving us a part of your day. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what we're doing, to see if it might be something that you're into.
Something that you might want. And that can be the thing of how we add, how we, start to flesh out different people in that, we can also help. Because I always feel like this is my heart. This is my passion of just saying, look, I can put people not necessarily on pedestals, but I can make you some money. You can find your pedestal, but we're going to get to the bank account first. And it's like, all right, well, if you are good at this, all right, let's do this. Let's make this up right now. So, I don't know. I think that's a next step that I see where this can kind of pivot to. But for us, I mean, pivoting has been a big factor of our entire business model.
What would you say one of your earliest ones was, like back in the old spot?
I mean, changing the restaurant, changing the physicality of the restaurant every,
say 2 months or so, something like that. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was every month at least. Of saying, okay, this has to go here, and because we started off, I mean, it was crazy. Like we didn't have a hood, we didn't have a stove, we didn't have a fryer, we didn't have any of that. We literally were working off of new wave tabletop burners. Like, boy, if we could have been an infomercial the infomercial you get at 4 a.m. with the buy this.
We could actually technically right now start an infomercial at 2 o'clock in the morning.
We need to buy this for $19.99, and if you pay today, we get 2 instead of 1 with no shipping. Like, that's because we was in there. I mean, when I say we had to keep New Wave in business ourselves, we made a whole restaurant off of New Wave technology. We need an endorsement. We do. Because that's what we did.
There's a few things we need endorsements.
That's what we did. And you know, it's crazy because we were able to just navigate it. Just, all right, well, this is not working. I think we realized the smaller one wasn't working. Got a bigger one to do the home fries in. And then, all right.
Presto is another one.
Yeah. And then, Presto with the grill. This grill isn't working. Let's try this grill. That grill isn't working. Let's try this grill until we figured out which one works. And then we just kept going. And I think that was the most important part of our life, of figuring out where to pivot.
We went
and
from
when to pivot.
We went from a one waffle iron to double.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
1 waffle iron to double. I mean, it was just a lot. It's a lot of pivot, and we had to every Sunday that we just, and we did it fast. So that was a really big thing about pivoting. It's like you have to pivot like on a dot, like bam, you know. And as soon as you see the problem, as soon as you see the issue, it's turn left.
Yeah.
25-degree angle, 35-degree angle, 90, whatever you got to do, because once you see the problem, you've identified it, and now it's time to fix it, and now it's time to get better. And it was cool because I think that's why we kept every week we kept going up, every month we kept going up, because we didn't just stick in the problem and say, all right, this is just our weakness, and we're just gonna sit there in it.
That was definitely, I say, one of our biggest strengths of having a kind of smaller and close-knit team where we had the ability to be fluid and agile. As soon as we've seen a pain point, we're like, all right, well, this is a problem. We can address it immediately. We don't have to ask anybody or, just stick with it just because, we could change the problem or create a solution immediately as soon as we've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's even a thing, because the magic of us having such a close-knit team, we were able to, like, say, all right, there's a problem. Whether it be a problem operationally, of, all right, now we're not all working on separate tickets. Now we're all working on together tickets. But all right, that didn't work. Now we're all working on separate tickets. And then even the money. I mean, because that's a big thing. We have to talk about it. As a business, every day isn't going to be a successful day. Every week isn't going to look pretty. Your bank account may look a little terrible every once in a while, so bills is going to be bills. And once you start getting up and you have a couple slow weeks, restaurant sometimes can be hard. I say it's not hard in totality as long as you stay consistent, but you can have some terrible times. And we were able to say, all right, hey, well, we're slow in the middle of the week, Monday to Thursday. We don't need 3 cooks and 2 people in the front.
So somebody
Monday
can drive.
Thursday. So either somebody can drive, or hey, you open up overnight when we know we're going to get orders, and then I'm going to open up in the morning. So now we've split our times and split the shifts so that everybody can still get paid. And I think that's the thing that employees don't understand about small businesses. It's like, when you see, it's one thing for us to be, all right, the business is big, it's a Fortune 500 company, blah, 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 blah. They raised all this money, or they got $500 million in the bank, and the CEO, you don't even know who that is. But when you see the owner busting it down with you, like, you got to have some kind of, just respect for that and say, all right, I see you working. I'm working. And out of those 2 people, somebody's paycheck is guaranteed, and somebody's paycheck isn't guaranteed. So the business owners generally is going to be the one that's like, all right, I got to just
take the L.
I just got to take the L and pay the employees. So it's like, when they come to you and they say, hey, well, let's do this, that's just to ensure your paycheck. Because after a while, once they can't pay your paycheck, well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to quit. You're not going to be there. So it's like, even that, just being able to pivot on the dime of that. It's like, hey, 2 weeks, we were slow. Few paycheck may not get covered. Let's do something else. Bam. We did it, fixed it.
Also, the trust that we had in everybody's kind of respective field, whether it was like, Sterling with QA, or, you with the menu items, Nicole with the upfront kind of processes, where you just kind of see that everybody's input is valid, you know, and because of that, we just had an overarching trust, where it's like, I know that, you say it's a problem, how do you think we should fix it? Well, I see it up here, all right, you go ahead and do that. I might not have experienced it like you have, so if you say we need to move this over there and change this to that, do it. If that makes your process easier, go for it. And I feel like just everybody kind of trusting everybody's respective area made us move very smooth, and I mean, mainly just that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know we don't have much time left, so let's kind of get into our little desserts here. Oh, come on.
Are you getting into it now?
Y'all getting straight to it?
It's going to be a lot of crinkling y'all going to hear.
I'm done.
Oh, yours is done. Boom, you had one and done.
All right,
Bam,
look
bam,
at this,
bam.
guys. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, you let me know how that is. I haven't had one of those either.
Oh, well, I can just take half. And you can...
You can get that. We'll put that over there. Don't even worry about that.
So, our brand, Cookie Norman's, is a cool brand because at one point in time, with DoorDash and Uber and Grubhub, it was, like I said, it's cool to see how delivery has evolved. And it's gone from Chinese food and pizza to, we can get other stuff. We can get other foods. We can get breakfast. We can get, Mexican. We can get Italian and stuff like that. So now it's like, now we just get novelties. You can deliver ice cream, deliver funnel cakes, deliver just a
fried
cookie.
Oreos.
People, people now just will straight up deliver, because delivery has turned from a special thing of, this is a splurge Friday night, to just, this is regular life. There's you see people all the time, they get a cookie, and that's it. And I'm like, so you paid $12
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
for a cookie.
We appreciate your patronage.
Keep it coming.
And it's wild, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool. So I mean, I think that's
This is delicious.
Yeah, I mean, and it's cool to be able to just kind of touch people in that way.
This needs to be boozy. I'm sorry.
Boozy. Now we're getting into boozy.
Lacey,
That's the next thing. Boozy.
This needs to be boozy.
Bro,
this is
bro.
everything.
Boozy desserts. I mean, that's the next thing, just even doing that. And it's cool to see. It's almost like you can get straight to what people want. And I think that's the cool thing about this, is because on delivery, like I said, I'm about the menu items. Yeah. So delivery doesn't lie. And granted, yes, you can do the same thing in a regular restaurant with your POS and things like that, to see what is selling, what's not selling, and stuff like that. But I mean, delivery is just in your face. Like, you sold one in the last month. Take it off.
The unemotional pivot of, well, so much for that.
It's it. It's done. You done did 1,000 orders and you sold one. You don't need it.
Wow. I think we need to sell more than one of this.
Clearly.
With
Right?
some bourbon or something. I don't know what boozy product you would
That's weird.
Look at this. Look at this, guys. Delish. Well,
Trying to sell that.
I think we come to the end of our session.
You want to come to the end of your bite before you get back to the mic?
It's a lot. That's a lot. But it's.
But I do concur, not to cut you off, but I do concur with the pivoting with the menu items, and even how we do with our hours and stuff like that. Just knowing, well, we don't make that much money between 9 o'clock and 10.
Be
or 9 o'clock and
honest.
11.
Yep.
Nope, we open at 11 now. You know,
That's
being
it.
able to show up when we know we can make the money. You know,
Yeah.
so only sell the items we know we can sell. That we
That's
have
it.
the perfect hours, perfect menu. You know, and that all comes from, like I said, just pivoting from the immense amounts of data that we get. You know, so from literally every interaction.
And paying attention to it and
Yeah.
making decisions based on that data. And you don't, and I think it's more, again, we don't have to be emotional about it because we don't see the people. So granted, yeah, they could be hurt that day. I looked at 9 o'clock and they're not on, but you look at 11 and you gonna see you see that it's there. So you gotta wait a little bit.
Yep.
You won't get your food till 11 anyway, but
Maybe 12.
but it's cool. But nah, it's I like it. I like that ability, and that's what scares me the most of even with growing, of us getting bigger and us getting more and more and more. You know, we are pretty successful now, but it's like, do we want to hire somebody? Do we want to get somebody else? Because with that comes another level of, all right, well, now we got to be more stringent, more strict,
More
blah,
rigid,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, more
Yeah.
rigid. They not going to go with the punches, and they going to feel away.
Well, you have to understand this business. I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, we appreciate any help, any and every help that we get. But you have to understand, you have to come in respecting what we bring to the table, which comes with our past, our growth, our pain points, you know, all of it. And just trust that we know the direction we should be going. You know, and if you want to be a part of it, cool. If you don't, look from the outside. We appreciate all of it.
It's like a more so understanding that this, you know, this kind of concept isn't necessarily, you know, this isn't legacy. You know, this is kind of a growing kind of culture that we're, you know, more or less on the forefront of. So it's just having that openness to, like I said, be pioneers in that kind of right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what I tell everybody that come and talk to me, say anything to my face, know they cap.
What?
Know they cap.
Stop it.
But it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
What?
This train is going no matter what. You can either get on or you get left. It's still gonna go. So I always tell people, like, look, this is like the Amtrak. Like, look, you at the station when it's leaving or you get left. It is what it is.
800 and count.
It is what it is. We counting. You see, we counting down. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm gone. See y'all later. I'm in Africa somewhere. Don't find me not here.
He done pivoted.
I done pivoted up out of here. Out of America.
Well, thanks, guys. Another great session in the books. And, you know, I just hope that we continue to put our minds together to continue to grow and become one in the journey. So, thanks.
It's over. Let me get one of them things.
This needs to have some bourbon up in this bit. Like that thing.
Something that you can actually succeed in and, you know, be great